Chris, your team did what it needed to do today and finished it up. How would you kind of summarize the ebbs and flows of that one?
I mean, an absolute wild one. It's kind of a microcosm of our season if you think about it. You know, all the stuff that's kind of went on in that game. Super proud of the guys that fought back. You know, we weren't playing well. You know, we didn't have a rhythm. Very, very frustrated. You know, down bodies, and had to play guys long shifts, and we found a way to win it. So I'm extremely pleased and proud of our effort there. You know, of course, we made a ton of really big plays at the right times. Ant's defense on Ingram was incredible. You know, Cat found his rhythm and really got some energy in the building and turned that game around for us offensively. But everyone else just really battled and fought. So.
Chris, it obviously got really emotional there in the second quarter. What did you see in the Rudy Kyle situation? And
yeah, I mean, it's very frustrating. You know, a couple blown assignments, a lot on the line tonight. You know, we're not proud of that behavior by anybody. You know, we really haven't dug too far into like the root cause of it, but guys are just frustrated. We weren't playing well. We weren't sharing the ball. We weren't. You know, we're getting beat in all the little areas. I mean, we look sluggish, like you deal on a back-to-back, but I think the gravity of the game made it feel like, you know, we were in a little bit of panic mode, and we, you know, just trying to get calmed down there. So,
for Rudy as a veteran, is that, I mean, disappointing to see?
It's certainly not something that we condone. I mean, veterans can get upset too, so I don't, you know, want to be too hard on him, but obviously it's not something we're going to be able to tolerate here. And I'm sure he's already remorseful. I haven't had a chance to speak with him about it. So,
do you have any thought on if he can play going forward in terms of discipline or in?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be handled internally, and just, you know, got to talk to Tim and everything. But,
how did you see your guys sort of, whether it was calm down or come together after those moments and coming out of the halftime gates there?
I mean, I don't know if we really ever calmed down until like midway through the third. You know, it was pretty emotional at half still too. Just trying to preach to the guys that we were down 8. We had the ball to start. You know, we didn't start the third well. And I looked up after 3 minutes and we were down 7. So somehow we managed to win the first 3 to 4 minutes, but I didn't feel like it. I just kept saying, like, you know, we're making too much of it. You know, it's a long game, a lot of game. You just got to stay calm down there. You know, I think we did a good job of like leaving the refs alone. We were on the refs a lot early, probably as a distraction, and just started focusing on the things that we could do well.
The threes from Cat to start the fourth, just, I mean, is that exactly what you needed in that time for him to come
absolutely.
through?
You know, it all stemmed from finding defensive rhythm. We were able to get him slowed down for a little bit, rebounded well. We got a bunch of strips, and we were able to get out and run and kind of shake him loose. And, you know, Cat at the top of the floor, as we know, is very, very dangerous. And, you know, we haven't been real great at, like, finding him in the flow there. You know, but tonight we did, and it was huge.
What's the word on Jaden McDaniels?
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, you know, out of frustration, he reacts and, you know, I guess punches the wall, and, you know, so I'm not sure exactly where we stand with all that, but unfortunate again. So,
how did you go about replacing Jaden's minutes tonight, and if he does have to miss time going forward, how do you make up for his, you know, unique role in this team?
Well, you know, Kyle Anderson has been huge for us all year in a starting capacity. You know, TP's been playing real well the last run of games. Nikhil, I thought, was good. We're just going to have to find a way to just cover ground, but it's something we've done all season, and we'll figure it out when we know exactly where we stand and who our opponent is and what we feel like we can do to try to affect the matchups.
Was that just kind of, especially in the second half, just kind of the peak of who Ant can be in given situations when?
Yeah, I mean, he's always, you know, he always makes. Well, first of all, he took the challenge of Ingram, you know, from early on. Every time we got him on him, and you know, I thought he did a really good job in the first half of just kind of like setting the tone defensively on him. You know, they made a ton of big plays, whether it be steals or that incredible block. For sure. I mean, you know, normally he's like putting a lot of juice in the gym with his offense, but tonight I think his defense is what lifted our energy tonight more than anything else.
Jaden, is that just a really bad time and way to learn a bad lesson?
Yeah, I mean, immaturity, certainly immaturity. Like, it's been one of our kind of issues all season, been immature at the wrong times. Probably points to why we're, 3-9 or 3-10 against some of the teams that we should be better against. But those days are gone. We got to focus now on what we got and what we can move forward with. And I guess we play the Lakers, so head out there.
Do you think that Ant can, his level of focus in high-level situations obviously really elevates his defense. It's hard to ask him to be that way all the time. Do you think that the level he gives you in those moments enables a lot of the things that perhaps he doesn't do at other times, just in terms of not being able to?
So you're asking me if I can let him drift through the
not
non-important
drift,
parts of the game to play well? And then,
not on like 9 or 10, level 9 or 10.
Yeah.
He does have to find a place where he catches a breath in the flow.
Absolutely. Like, he does a pretty good job, and we've tried to do a good job of keeping him off of some of those matchups until we feel that they're best employed. But when you're down 3-4 guys or whatever it is we're down right now, like you don't have that luxury, so you got to battle through. It's a playoff basketball right now, so you got to play that way all the time, and you might not always be able to do it offensively too. So, like, what are you saving yourself for? If it's not your night offensively, you might as well figure out how to guard somebody like he can.
When you've been at full strength this season, your roster's been at full strength. That's almost seemed like too much of a good thing.
All 6 games when we've been at full strength.
But or even like when everybody seems to be back, it seems like you're able to get a rhythm and find a rhythm with a diminished roster, is what I've been saying.
Yeah, I think that's, I think the reason for that is, kind of we have 2 faces to our team offensively. We haven't figured out how to wear those as well. And so then when the rotation is down, then you kind of lean into the way that group of players needs to play, that's pretty probably fair, very fair assessment.
Obviously, nobody likes to see what happened during that altercation during the timeout. Is it safe to say that maybe in a way that kind of fired the team up and maybe focused it?
Yeah, it certainly puts emergency in them. I thought we were playing hard, but we were just like stuck in the mud a little bit. I didn't think we were kind of not putting the effort in, but we were just a little sluggish and slow and frustrated as a result of that. But it certainly did. I think we came out of there, we put a little run together. So where the game could have easily gone from 10 to 18, it went maybe to 6. So, but yeah, I don't think that's something we want to do a lot of, so.
Kyle Anderson's been kind of a Swiss Army knife down the stretch of the season. And then with the situation with Rudy and Cat, kind of puts you in this unique situation where he's getting big minutes at the 5 in the third quarter. And it seemed like that was when the run started. So how important was that play from Kyle?
Yeah, it's one of the things I thought walking off the floor, well, we knew we'd have to get to that lineup at some point, just because, their second unit, they went small, so we would be there. But, Cats, in many ways, Cats foul trouble allowed us to get there and kind of took them out of the rhythm because we were able to go a lot of switching. And they wanted to throw the ball down inside to Valanciunas. Like we did a good job of kind of swarming them there. So, yeah, it kind of changed up the rhythm of the game. And then Cat was able to come back in, and he had a bit of a rhythm as a result. So.
Do you find when you've got Cat in there at the 5 that's when opponents adjust more to you versus vice versa?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Now the tendency, everybody wants to go small all the time, see if they can, take advantage of your bigs that are on the floor. But, yeah, probably. It's been a while since we've, had, to play extended minutes like that. But, yeah.
You have any chance of getting Nas back?
No. Thank you. Appreciate it.